Change the picture on housing, or will single-family home ownership still be the goal for most? Daniel Foch is Chief Real Estate Officer at Valerie.ca. Thanks for being with us, Daniel.
Thanks for having me.
So why don't we start right there? We do see renting becoming a little bit more affordable, still way more expensive than 5 years ago, but getting better. Does that change the story for people in the housing market at all?
It does in a couple of ways. I think that landlords are seeing increasing pressure. There's more and more supply on the market. Rents are coming down. Now we know property taxes are going up in the city of Toronto and probably in other municipalities across the country. And so it would be reasonable to assume that you might see some of that supply, that investor supply that's no longer economical for them to hold, making its way into the housing market as well. So I think we probably have continued downward pressure on price and rents for the foreseeable future, and more affordability on the horizon for owners and renters.
And so on the housing front, if that creates a little pocket of potential sort of room in the market, what we've seen so far is as rates have come down, so your mortgage gets more affordable, the house prices have sort of gone up at the same pace. So affordability overall didn't change much. But will that still help the housing market, do you think, as we head into the spring here?
It's tough to say. I mean, the factors that you just described are a little bit less binary than I would love to imagine. There's other competing factors like a recession, rising unemployment, wage growth being another one that's a really key factor for that affordability, because affordability is also a function of interest rates, house prices, and the income that an individual makes. I would say that all of those factors have kind of given a little bit of affordability to buyers and renters. So again, prices have come down, rates have come down, incomes have come up. As long as that picture continues trending in the direction that it has, we could continue to see affordability. If you start to see it breaking a little bit, for example, if house prices did move up, which they kind of tend to be a little bit here and there, and tough to say whether or not that's seasonality, then you might see affordability worsening maybe in the shorter term. It
was interesting to see in the CREA data, almost a warning, it felt like, to homeowners and buyers not to think there's going to be a massive spike up in home prices. In other words, people that made a killing on their house in the last 5 years, it may not be repeated because we may be at or near a top still. Would you agree with that there's not a huge upside for this market?
Yeah, I think, when you see a lot of volume coming back in the market, which we're seeing right now, people are buying houses again, people are selling houses again. And the reason people are buying is because they can afford to. I think a lot of people want to think about, or they want to be optimistic. They want to say house prices are going to go up, but that's actually the last thing that we should really be wishing for in this country, in such that the consequences of unaffordable housing market is the economy that we've seen over the last couple of years. People don't have a lot of money to spend at businesses. They're really feeling the pinch. People are taking on more and more debt. Whereas if you have a market that's balanced, where buyers and sellers can afford to enter and exit, we start seeing a increase in residential investment again. People are maybe spending on renovations. Real estate professionals are doing transactions, and so they're making money. And we know how real estate professionals love to lease cars and take vacations and all of those things. And so hopefully we can get back to a higher level of volume, like CREA is suggesting, without actually seeing that materialize in an increase in price. I would actually say that would be the best case scenario for 2025's real estate market.
We've all got seconds here, but we do, of course, still expect more homes to be built. There's a big push for that. Does that suggest that we may even see housing price weakness in the years ahead?
I would say so, and you're seeing more and more rental supply being added, record rental housing supply as of today. So I think that's definitely a big headwind on house prices growth as well.
Daniel, always good to have you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Daniel Foch is Chief Real Estate Officer with Valerie.ca.